Alternative Talk Radio. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Oh, yes, it is. Here we are, ready to rock and roll for another one, man. Hold on here. Apparently, I forgot how to do this over the past few days during the holiday break, but we are back and at it. We are ready to rock and roll. Welcome into it. Happy Monday, your post-Christmas celebration. Hopefully, you had a very Merry Christmas as we go into the void. It is the void. It is the week where we don't know what's going on. You can't really do a whole lot of work. You can't really get a lot done. You can prepare yourself for the upcoming year, the upcoming week, for next week, which hits really hard right out of the gate for a full week of work. So we will try and get you through this one. Coast as much as you possibly can, my friends, and we're here to entertain you and talk about the latest because there is plenty to talk about. President Donald Trump not stopping during the Christmas celebration, and a lot of things happening down in Mar-a-Lago today. So we will get to all that and a heck of a lot more. But as usual, welcome into the show, doing our thing.
Do it live!
Like we do every single day here on the show, especially for Monday. Today's Monday, right? That's right. That's what we got to tell ourselves. So hopefully, first and foremost, happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. It was a lot of fun. Took a lot of family time, so that was pretty awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed the Christmas, the program that we do, the local and the national program for the Christmas break. We always like to do that one. It's a lot of fun getting all the audio clips and bits that we do. Always a special one for us on the program. We do it every year. We'll continue to do it every year. It was a lot of fun, but it gave us a little bit of time to just decompress, which we desperately need. However, that didn't happen for the Trump administration because they continue to just work all throughout the weekend. In fact, their main goal is now foreign policy again, trying to create these peace deals. He is desperate, man, to try and get as much peace as we can around the world, which, if you can do it, brother, all the power to you. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but by golly, we're going to try the best we can. So we'll get to that in just a moment. We have bottom of the hour, Jim Pfaff, the Conservative Caucus. He'll be joining us. We're going to do an outlook for 2026 as we now are getting ready for a midterm election, and boy, is there a lot to break down. The state of the Republican Party, what can we expect from the divide among the MAGA movement, and then, of course, what we're going to see with foreign policy and the Democrats, which are always just kind of the thorn in the side across the board. So we'll get to all that and more. First and foremost, welcome into it. You can find our website, HooserReason.com, our social media at Hooser Reason, and, of course, if you want the podcast on any of your favorite podcasting sites, just search The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. Like it out, share it out. We have broken some crazy records this year. It is the end of the year, so we'll break down those numbers in just a little bit.
What's trending today?
All right, let's talk some foreign policy here, shall we? Because there's plenty to talk about this weekend. And today, Trump working hard, meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel, which was, I don't know, man. They were, I don't know. According to the other, or at least some within the MAGA movement, and I say that in air quotes, not very happy about meeting with Israel because, of course, now apparently Jews are just as dangerous as radical Islamic terrorists. We've now heard Tucker Carlson say that he doesn't know anyone that's been really killed by Islamic terrorists. We have Candace Owens that says that really Jews are the biggest problem in the world. So the fact that Donald Trump's even just meeting with Israel is now probably a controversial issue. This is, if there's any divide within the Republican Party, this is going to be it. This is what we do to divide the party now because there is a massive anti-Semitism movement. Not even, which if they tried to clarify, maybe we could at least understand where they're coming from. Because what do we say here in the country? We say in America that, we love the country, don't like the government. Two separate entities, right? You can love the nation and dislike what the federal government's doing. The government is not a representative of what the United States is, which makes complete sense. Right now, we're not hearing that differentiating of the criticism of Israel. We're not hearing that, you know what, we love the people of Israel, we love the Jewish community, we love the Jewish people, whatever. We've been strong allies with them for a long time. We just don't necessarily like what the nation of Israel, the government itself, is really doing. We're not really hearing that differentiating right now. But what happened with Benjamin Netanyahu, kind of a big moment for President Donald Trump, and not so well with those that are not liking the nation of Israel right now.
Well, President Trump has broken so many conventions to the surprise of people, and then they figure out, oh, well, maybe, he was right after all. So we decided to break a convention too, or create a new one, and that is to award the Israel Prize, which in almost our 80 years, we've never awarded it to a non-Israeli, and we're going to award it this year to President Trump. This was announced formally over lunch by our Minister of Education, who's responsible for the Israel Prize. It's going to be awarded to President Donald J. Trump for his tremendous contributions to Israel and the Jewish people. I think it's such a fitting thing, and it would honor us, obviously, Mr. President, if you could visit Israel in that occasion on our Independence Day. But I have to say that this reflects the overwhelming sentiment of Israelis across the spectrum. They appreciate what you've done to help Israel and to help our common battle against the terrorists and those who would destroy our civilization.
All right, so Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu making that statement earlier, saying that Donald Trump has now been awarded the Israel Prize, which is normally dedicated to those within Israel, an Israeli citizen. However, for the first time ever, being nominated to President Donald Trump. And again, that's going to cause some controversy on this side of the aisle with the ongoing drama fest and the National Enquirer type content that we're hearing from some that has now tried to infiltrate anti-Semitism within the Republican and conservative movement. We'll see what that does. Now, I've said it before, and we went into the break last week saying that we need to get it out of our system, purge whatever we have to. We need to unite as a party, get ready for midterm elections in 2026. But if there's going to be that thorn in the side of Israel's evil, we shouldn't be funding, which, look, we can have a conversation about where our foreign aid is going or whether we should have foreign aid at all. I think we can have a conversation about that. But we have to recognize that even if we cut back funding, which we haven't increased funding, we've just kind of maintained the same amount of funding to the nation of Israel that we always have. Even if we got rid of that, they're still an ally. So I don't know what the big deal is or the hubbub is compared to other places in the world when we really, for sure, don't need to be supporting them in any way, shape, or form. But this could get a little dicey for a while for the Republican movement until we figure out exactly where we stand now that we've seen this infiltration of anti-Semitism from our side. And I don't like that. Not a big deal. But at the same time, now we have another movement.
What's trending today?
Where this happened actually just within the last hour or so, as President Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky from the nation of Ukraine talking about the ongoing peace deals with Russia and Ukraine. Here's the deal. Donald Trump is adamant. He wants to make this happen. Whether he's going to make it happen or not, I don't know. It always seems like we're getting close, and then all of a sudden we see another bombing. This weekend we saw a report from Vladimir Putin that said that apparently 90 different Ukrainian drones was around his mansion trying to take him out. So therefore he retaliated. It's always going to be the situation's really one of those. It's he said, she said, he started it first. It's like the siblings, right? He started it first. No, he started it first. No, he started it first. It's really where we're at now. And you can't really get out of that cyclical motion unless you just put a hard stop and say, beyond this point, I don't really care, or else we're just backing out and we're just not going to do anything. And that's the position Donald Trump's going to have to take soon. But this guy is adamant about making some type of peace deal, negotiation, ceasefire, something happened between these two nations.
Our meeting was excellent. We covered, somebody would say 95%, I don't know what percent, but we have made a lot of progress on ending that war, which is really certainly the most deadly war since World War II, probably the biggest war since World War II. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff, who's here, and I'd like to thank Jared, who's here someplace. Thank you, Jared. And thank you, Steve. What a great job you've done. Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, and Marco Rubio is here. Thank you, Marco. And Pete Hegseth is here. Those two people are doing an unbelievable job. And the four people on this one are doing, I don't think anybody could do it. And we'll see if it gets done, but it's very close, certainly. Nobody would even have a chance of getting it to where it is right now. Nobody would have thought that was possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm the eternal optimist. I think that we could eventually come to a ceasefire, but I don't know. I really don't know, because we have Vladimir Putin that really has made it very clear he has his agenda. He's not going to stop until he gets what he wants. Volodymyr Zelensky is going to be a mooch where he's going to continue to want to keep things going as well, because then they'd have an election. He may or may not pan out on that. A lot of the aid that's keeping their economy going in Ukraine is pumping in from the United States and from the EU. So as long as he keeps that going. So I got to be honest, I really don't know when we could see an actual end to this conflict. Donald Trump's trying. I give him all the credit. He's at what? Number 6, 7, 8, 9 different peace deals and ceasefires around the world. I think he's done pretty well. We should give him a hands up on that one. Well done. He should be getting the Nobel Peace Prize. He really should be getting that, but this one could be a tricky one because we have two nations that are benefiting vastly from this, and they have no intention of stopping in either way. Brett Baer from Fox News sat down with Volodymyr Zelensky, the guy that refuses to wear a suit but likes to wear his military garb in the United States, to be like, hey, I'm on the front lines, and I'm really just an average Joe Schmo, which just isn't true. But sat down with him and asked him straight up, do you think we could see an actual peace deal here soon?
Is there any indication that you see that Vladimir Putin wants peace by what he's doing or saying?
Me not, be honest. And I don't see it because, first of all, I don't hear it publicly. His messages, they go, he doesn't speak about peace. Now he doesn't speak. He says that he can go further. It's not the signals of peace.
Yeah, he can go further. So, Vladimir Putin wants to go further into Ukraine. Ukraine wants the resources and the money coming in from everybody assisting them to keep them afloat. Who knows? Who knows what's going to... And maybe we could see a miracle in 2026. If anybody... Here's the thing. I will say if anybody can stop it or at least even get closer to a ceasefire, it's going to be the Trump administration. Marco Rubio is a freaking rock star, and he's been able to do so much around the world, and he is gung-ho about making progress, about actually seeing productivity, and I applaud him for that. So if anybody is going to make it, it's going to be the Trump administration, where you have Donald Trump that's adamant to try and apparently get into heaven because he's so scared about not making it into heaven and wanting to stop people from dying and trying to save humanity. So he's got kind of that complex going. You got Marco Rubio, that's just a workhorse in there, that's been one of the most successful and productive Secretary of States in modern American history, which is really exciting to see. We have everybody from the down ballots beyond that that are in both nations right now trying to negotiate in real time, meeting with Volodymyr Zelensky, meeting with Vladimir Putin, meeting with these guys. If anybody's able to do it, it's going to be us. It's going to be the current administration right now. Joe Biden had zero momentum whatsoever. The only thing he did was put on those tariffs and put on the different rules and regulations around him and cut off funding from Russia. I mean, he didn't do anything. In the sanctions that just did nothing because Russia was prepared for that. And Donald Trump's put some other sanctions on them, but has it really worked? Has it really done anything to them? The only success Donald Trump's had there was to try and infiltrate the oil industry and try and get OPEC to buy American oil. And that's been able to cut off a supply of revenue for Russia. So that's put some pressure on them, but they haven't caved yet, obviously. So I don't know. We'll see what the future looks like there. But I think that at some point, Donald Trump's eventually going to wipe his hands clean and be like, look, neither of you guys are unwilling to work. Neither of you guys are unwilling to cooperate or negotiate. You always turn back on your word. So I'm out. And we leave and let them duke it out and deal with it. And I think there's going to be, I don't know when it is, but there's going to have to come to a head there and just say, we can't deal with this garbage any longer. But that being said, foreign policy is a main priority for the Trump administration right now, trying to make things better for the U.S. That doesn't mean that he's not looking out for America first. That means he's making America first a priority by dealing with the outside forces that is the rest of the world, so that way we can focus inward, which means we're also cleaning up fraud here. We'll get to that when we come back around the corner for your Monday. Stay here.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
When America builds, the world follows. Our energy powered the 20th century. We've set the standard for generations, and we never waited for permission. But now, we're being held back. Outdated rules, endless delays. Without permitting reform, Washington's red tape is slowing us down while other nations race ahead. It doesn't have to be this way. We can clear the way for energy that's affordable, reliable, and built right here. Because what's built here is felt here. Lower costs, more jobs, stronger communities. That's what permitting reform makes possible. Energy didn't just shape our country, it powered the American dream. And with our innovation, we can lead the 21st century. Congress has a choice. Build America's energy future or risk falling behind. Tell Congress, pass permitting reform now.
Miss any part of the show? Well, don't worry. Now's your chance to go find the podcast and listen to as much of the Voice of Reason as you'd like. As the show continues to grow all across the nation with great radio affiliates, we also continue to grow as one of the top conservative podcasts, ranked 5th on the MillionPodcast.com Best 50 Conservative Leadership Podcasts in the nation, and number 1 on FeedSpot.com's 30 Best Conservative Talk Shows in the country. The show continues to grow each and every day. Just find us on any of your favorite podcasting sites at The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. Hey, did you know that you can have multiple different networks on one single smartphone? Well, with Patriot Mobile, you can. It's time for you to sign up for the Patriot Mobile primary phone plan with plans as low as $15 a month, where you can have 2 numbers and 2 networks on one single phone. And right now, if you sign up using the promo code REASON, you can get an entire month absolutely free. It's the Patriot Mobile One plan. 1 phone, 2 numbers, and 2 networks. And it's all at patriotmobile.com/reason. Again, patriotmobile.com, and use the promo code REASON.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did 2 guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at AFP, we offer solutions that tackle the most critical challenges facing our country, so there's nothing standing in the way of America's next breakthrough. Because what we build today doesn't just shape the future, it defines it. How will you be defined? Take your first step today with Americans for Prosperity.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
When reason meets radio. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Yeah, welcome back to the program. Great to have you. So, the funny part, I was planning on trying to go somewhat lighthearted on the program today. Again, we're in that void. We're in that break between Christmas and New Year's. You can't quite do a whole lot at work. Maybe prepare yourself and, get your new daily planners and set your new projects of what you're going to do, set your goals for the new year. It's all preparation this week, but you really can't do anything beyond that until Monday morning with the full work week that hits on Monday next week. So I wanted to keep it somewhat lighthearted, but there's a lot of things going on, especially foreign policy, that for some reason is so divisive within the Republican Party right now. It's so divisive. Some people want to be completely non-interventionalist. We want to get out of everything. We just want to focus inward and just reflect here in the nation, focus on America first by that sense, when others realize that sometimes we live in a global economy. Whether we want to or not, whether we agree with it or not, whether we like it or not, it's a global economy. There's money coming in and out. There's resources coming in and out. So we have to be involved on a global level. It's just how much and to what degree, I think, is the conversation that we need to have here. But it's something that's very divisive right now, and I really, really hope that's not the deciding factor for Republicans in the midterm elections for next year. That would be bad. For sure. Hey, by the way, I want to tell you about my friends over at Americans for Prosperity. As you know, we are not just weeks away now, days away from the official 250th birthday of this nation. And Americans for Prosperity, they are spending millions of dollars to educate us on the greatest education course we can get. I want you to go to a website, takeonesmallstep.com. Takeonesmallstep.com. You can learn about the real American history, the average American, the great average, you and I, all throughout the ages, standing up, rising to defend American values and fight for the issues of their time. Go to TakeOneSmallStep.com with our friends at Americans for Prosperity. Let's celebrate the 250th birthday of this nation. Going to be exciting. One of those things we need to focus on, by the way, too, is the fraud that we're seeing in the nation as we try and deal with tariffs and sanctions and relationships and diplomacy and so on and so forth. We're starting to reflect here on the home front, and that's leading us to one of the issues of the day.
What's trending today?
And that, of course, is going up to the state of Minnesota. Democrats not happy that all the eyes right now are on the fraud, the $100 million plus of fraud that we're starting to see. If you have not seen the video on social media, highly recommend it. I know you probably tuned out during the holiday break, but you probably need to get on your social media and check out the videos from Nick Shirley, an independent journalist up in Minnesota that has exposed much of the fraud that's just being spent up there. No one's even tried to deal with it, and how blatantly obvious it is for them to deal with this problem.
All right, Nick, we've had you on this show before. You know, I'm a longtime follower of yours. You've done incredible work. I know you're an incredible investigative journalist on the ground. But I guess my question is this. How much investigating did you actually have to do to find these centers, some of them that have misspelled signs? Did you just find them easily, or how did you go about this? Because it's amazing to me that nobody else besides you saw a problem here when they can't even spell on the side of a learning center, Nick.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I have to give props to the man by the name of David who helped me in this investigation. He's been doing research for years trying to expose this fraud, and nobody has given him the time of day to even talk about this. So with his help and my own investigation, I've known about the fraud taking place for a long time. Minnesotans have been telling me for a long time about the Somali fraud that is taking place. And with his help, we were able to crack over $110 million in fraud in one day. And that's just the tip. When people say it's the tip of the iceberg, it really is, because there's billions of fraud inside the state of Minnesota right now.
Can you imagine that? Now, we can only imagine where all that's going. Right now, this is just going to a learning center. If you haven't seen the video, him going to a learning center for the Somali children, where apparently they're receiving millions of dollars for this learning center, and the letters were spelled wrong in the door. They knock on the door. There's no kids there whatsoever. We don't know where this money's going. It's going somewhere, but it's not going to these places that are supposed to be, well, I don't know, helping these communities in some fashion. The fraud is ridiculous. Tim Walz not looking too good right now with his jazz hands, trying to protect himself.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left finds new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back. And that's where we can help. Head to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can find our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Let us know your thoughts on current events with different surveys and chat rooms. And keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Plus, when you head to the website, you can always get great deals and different offers from all of our great radio partners. Finally, if you want more of the show, you can find our podcasts with all of our great episodes and your favorite guests. And make sure to check out the latest Voice of Reason infomercials and maybe some other special content. And it's all because of you being part of the Hoosier-holic family. Let's continue to fight for conservative common sense principles together by going to HooserReason.com. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do.
Mid-America Business Minute. It was a rough day today for Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 249 points to 48,461. The S&P 500 was down 24 points to 6905, and the Nasdaq was down 118 points to end at 23,474. Stocks fell today, spurred by losses in technology after the S&P 500 scaled to record levels last week. The artificial intelligence trade came under a bit of pressure in the session. NVIDIA shares dropped more than 1%. Palantir Technologies, Meta Platforms, and Oracle also suffered losses. In oil news, Brent crude futures rose $1 to $61.64 a barrel, while WTI crude was up $1.10 to $57.84 a barrel. Gold ended the day at $4,345 per ounce, and silver was at $71.45 an ounce. I'm Stephanie Austin.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Good morning, class. A quick head count. Tiffany?
Here.
Zach?
Yup.
Steven? Steven? Is he absent again?
For many kids, just getting to school feels like a challenge. Staying through graduation is even harder. That's where Communities in Schools comes in. A powerful community of caring adults, working with vulnerable kids in schools every day, helping them overcome the barriers that stand in the way of learning. Hunger, homelessness, health problems, and even emotional trauma. Communities in Schools. We're inside schools partnering with teachers and counselors, empowering at-risk kids by providing supportive relationships, doing whatever it takes to help them thrive in school and have brighter futures. Communities in Schools. We're in schools to help kids stay in school. See how we help all kids succeed at communitiesinschools.org.
Wichita's Big Talker, KQAM, has a new app.
Say what?
Keep KQAM with you all day long with our app streaming. Play games, take surveys, call your favorite shows, set reminders when your favorite shows start, and even sign up to win big prizes. Plus, get notifications on KQAM's big promotions, special programming, and so much more. Just search SC Wichita in your app store and find KQAM. It's everything you love about the Big Talker, all in one location. Download the app today.
Truth, reason, and common sense. This is the voice of reason with Andy Hooser.
And the single biggest thing that they're worried about is DOGE is going to turn off fraudulent payments of entitlements. I mean everything from Social Security, Medicare, unemployment, disability, small business administration loans. Turn them off to illegals. This is the crux of the matter. This is the thing that why they really hit my guts and want me to die. By using entitlements fraud, the Democrats have been able to attract and retain vast numbers of illegal immigrants.
And buy voters.
And buy voters, exactly.
Buy a lot of voters and spend a lot of money on things that we didn't even know that they were spending money on. That was, by the way, Elon Musk on the Ted Cruz podcast, talking about how these programs are about ready to be shut off. The changes with DOGE that, by the way, still ongoing behind the scenes, that could be uncovering a lot of this fraudulent activity, government contracts and social programs and all the fraud that's going, not just from Social Security, but Social Security is kind of the basis where it branches off from other agencies and organizations from there as well. And relating that to Minnesota, Tim Walz, they're not very happy about that one, right? Because they're going to lose a lot of money.
We're all gonna die because of you!
Yeah, pretty fun. Let's talk about some of that and more with our next guest on the program.
What's trending today?
And kind of our catalyst moment of the day as we talk about the 2026 midterms, upcoming agendas, what we have going on. It's our catalyst moment. We're really happy to have on the program with the series the president with the Conservative Caucus, theconservativecaucus.com, the man himself, Mr. Jim Pfaff, back on. Jim, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, my friend. How are you?
I'm for you, Andy.
Yeah, doing great, my friend. Hey, I know that it's the holidays, so thanks for coming on. Merry Christmas to you. It's we're in that void right now between the two holidays, which is kind of weird. But I'm so excited about the next year because even before we start fixing these problems like the fraud in Minnesota, in other states right now, the exposure, the making this public, people are going crazy for this, and that's a good first step here, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great first step. But it was a great first step, too, to something that you didn't quite reference, but I'm sure you know about. We're finding Somali fraud all over the country.
Yeah.
We're seeing it in Ohio and Pennsylvania. In other words, this scam has been in place in a much more significant way than a lot of us realized. And thankfully, this Minnesota, and by the way, give credit to the probably mostly Democrat HR employees in the state of Minnesota, because they broke this wide open. They had been trying to do something about this with Tim Walz for some time. He refused, and we know why, because he's in on the scam. I don't know if he's making money off of it, but he's certainly getting votes and, making political problems for everyone. This is listen, and this is the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more going on, and if Congress right in this next year is not thinking seriously about entirely revamping how we fund anything in this country in terms of entitlement programs, then they're totally missing the boat and could lose the election because of it.
That's a really great point. How much, speculatively here, how much money is being spent on fraudulent activity, and even just in the state of Minnesota alone, but like you said, in these Somali communities all over the country right now? According to that independent journalist that did the video online, knocking on the door of the Learning Center, where the Learning Center words were even misspelled, so apparently they got some work to do on the learning there. They said in one day they exposed $100 million worth of fraud. Jim, how much money do you think we're talking about here in total?
Well, the DOJ is talking about at least $9 billion just in Minnesota alone. We've heard similar types of fraud that are apparently happening in California that are in the 25-plus billion range. Elon Musk put out a tweet that I thought was revealing and is consistent with his experience having been at the head of the Doge effort early on. He estimates it could be as much as $1.5 trillion nationally. Now, and he thinks that that's the ground floor. He thinks it could be a lot more. I totally agree with him, because let's keep in mind, where did all the growth and spending in our federal government happen? It happened through COVID and through subsequent massive government programs through the Biden administration. We were doing about about $4.9 trillion in 2019 was the federal budget, and it's now over $7 trillion.
Yeah.
So I think to believe that there could be $1.5 trillion to $2.5 trillion of fraud, in my opinion, is very reasonable, because why would it be fraud? It's not just that people are making money off of it, as we're finding out. It's also because this money's transferring over to Democrat political efforts. The fraud is not just facial fraud of the way people are abusing the money, but it's a political fraud that I think has a lot of illegalities to it as well, that really needs to be gone after, not just by the Trump administration, but by Congress.
It's a really great point. So a Democrat was on MSNBC over the weekend and said that exact same thing on where this money came from. Take a listen to this.
These were funds that were meant to go to help feed hungry people during the COVID pandemic, to help keep people in their homes who were at risk of homelessness. So, first of all, if there is fraud there, that should be fully investigated, no matter where it is, whether it's in a Democratic-led state, a Republican-led state. I mean, let's pull back. So absolutely, it should be investigated. The question is, why is this a priority in a different kind of way? The politicization of the DOJ and the FBI is undeniable.
Okay, so apparently, Jim, so it's fraud. It happened during COVID, like you said, but it happens everywhere. The only reason that it's getting special treatment right now is because of the weaponized and politicized DOJ, FBI, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, the Trump administration, wanting to showcase this one particularly, when we should just accept it happens everywhere and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, well, one man's weaponization is another man's rule of law. Listen, here's the problem. Anyone who gets really potentially harmed by something like what the DOJ is doing and the other efforts to police this, they're going to always cry foul, and that's just the nature of it when you get caught doing something.
Right.
But what's even more significant about this is what that lady said is consistent with what Democrats do in their lying, thieving ways consistently. When they call something weaponization, or they call it, whatever they call it, like all the Russiagate and all this kind of stuff, it's always them putting on someone else who's not doing it exactly what they are doing.
Right.
Listen, the reason they think it's weaponization is because the scam was working for many years, particularly beginning in the Obama administration. Well, I've been doing some research because I'm writing a book, and I'm looking at the whole NGO history. There were no such things as NGOs until the United Nations came along. And that quickly became a corrupt thing. We used to do what's called philanthropy in the United States, where we gave money privately to private institutions to help people in need and distress.
Yeah.
NGOs were designed for the, literally, for the UN to be able to implement policy in ways that they never could because they never had any actual authority over any government. But this has morphed into something here in the United States that becomes much worse because Bill Clinton kind of started this, but Obama put it on steroids. Their whole design was to be able to advance political agendas they could never win through legislative action, nor win at the ballot box. I mean, this goes into the whole Census Bureau scam of not giving proper population into states, giving more population to blue states, less to red, so that they can win elections. This is really a monumental corrupt scam that is designed to give Democrats, as best they can, permanent power, and that got thwarted in 2024, and now it must be thwarted consistently through the Trump administration. So this isn't weaponization at all. This is about getting back to reality again.
Well, it's all about the smoke and mirrors and the deflection, which they do very good at, by the way, with the deflection that they do. We're talking with Jim Pfaff with the Conservative Caucus, theconservativecaucus.com. Jim, let's shift gears. Let's do some inner reflection here for a moment among the Republican Party. There was an announcement today, this weekend, as Donald Trump was working with Benjamin Netanyahu, the nation of Israel, about what the next steps are with Gaza. And Benjamin Netanyahu saying that now Trump is going to win the Israel Prize that's usually said and saved for a citizen of Israel, but because of how much Trump has done for the nation, that he's going to be receiving this prize that I'm only going to assume is going to cause more controversy with the, I don't know what it is, the anti-Semitic move within the nation, the America First, to hell with Israel type of movement right now. Is this going to divide us going into a midterm for 2026? What's the state of the Republican Party and the MAGA movement with some of the outliers that are really trying to change the narrative right now?
Well, I was just having a discussion about this with someone very seriously just a couple hours ago. I do think that there are some very real problems in this negativity and separation that is beginning to happen in the conservative movement. You know, God forbid we ever have another assassination of someone again. Just think of what would have happened if Donald Trump had successfully been assassinated, where we'd be. Listen, it should have been a unifying moment where we all just backed up a little bit, turned down the temperature, and started acting honestly in our political efforts. And instead, partly through Democrat efforts, but partly through some people in the conservative movement who've just really gone whacked out, the Candace Owens of the world, have really gone off the deep end and are a huge problem. And this is a serious issue going into 2026 because you need unity to be successful at these massive political efforts that our national elections are.
Right.
And particularly in a year where you don't have a presidential candidate, you already have unification potential problems because you've got 435 little areas of the country where we're running campaigns and not coalescing it nationally. I mean, that Newt Gingrich did that successfully with the contract with America, and I don't see a similar effort happening here. So I'm very concerned about that. But on the other side of this, the American people are...
Yeah, I tell you what, Jim, hang on the line there. We got to take a hard break. I want to hear the positive side of this because we need some positivity. I'm the eternal optimist here, and we need to find a way to unite the party going into this election. So we'll do that when we come back around the corner with Jim Pfaff, the Conservative Caucus, theconservativecaucus.com. Lots more to get to right back after this. Stay here.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Big government is broken. Every year, politicians fail to pass a budget as the deficit continues to grow. Every month, unelected bureaucrats pile on rules no one voted for, strangling our economy. And every day, DC's broken system gets in the way of the American dream. Washington isn't working, and the people pay the price. At Americans for Prosperity, we believe it's time to fix the system. Now, join the movement to make government work.
As you know, I'm always looking for a good snack, but it's hard to find good quality snacks without all the unhealthy additives. But now that problem is over. It's time to enjoy J&S Smoked Snacks. Real cuts of beef, real wood smoke, and real flavor that's crafted in small batches to keep every bag fresh. I promise you'll be addicted. And with numerous different flavors, you'll never get enough. This is not your average gas station jerky. It's J&S Smoked Snacks. Find them online at jssmokedsnacks.com and tell them I sent you.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
The Kia C.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? Our country's greatest breakthroughs were born from bold ideas and the ability to take one small step forward. At Americans for Prosperity, freedom and opportunity find their defenders. Because our country's next giant leap is just around the corner. Are you ready to step up?
Hey, the live show may be almost over today, but it doesn't have to be for you. As always, enjoy the Voice of Reason with our daily podcast by finding the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser on any of your favorite podcasting sites. Just find us, subscribe, have it automatically downloaded, and listen at your convenience whenever you want to bring some more reason into your day. And a lot of people are doing it. Also, you can always find the video of the show, along with articles, additional commentary, and maybe a few sarcastic remarks by following us on our social media. Stay up to date with everything going on with the show, including upcoming guests, breaking news stories, interesting articles, and maybe some memes. Help us in the ongoing battle with censorship and shadow banning from social media by following us on the social media at Hooser Reason on all of our social media sites. For all these social media links, podcast links, contact information, or just general information of the show, go to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can listen live every day, read our latest monthly blog, find our radio affiliate list, or even listen to our latest infomercials and special content. Plus, you can always reach out to the program by sending me a message on social media, emailing us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com, or sending an email through our website at HooserReason.com. Whether it's content on the show, whether it's a guest that you've liked or disliked, or whether you want to disagree with me, and disagreement's always appreciated. While you're there, make sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Each month, you'll get the latest update on the show, updates from the Hooser Media Network, and our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Finally, if you want to help support the show, become a member of our Patreon site and help us fight for the cause of truth, reason, and common sense every day, and get more of the same by becoming the ultimate Hoosierholic. Get additional interviews that sometimes we don't always get to air on the radio. Hear our special segments or even our infomercials before anyone else, and have a chance to chat with other great Hoosierholics from all over. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, you're not only helping the fight for conservative values, you're helping us get more content and information out through the Hooser Media Network. Find out more information online at HooserReason.com. Lastly, follow and support all of our partners with the show. The Voice of Reason has been growing more and more every year, and it's because of so many great partners helping us get the message out to you. From show partners to local radio affiliates in your area to streaming sites, podcasting sites, and more. We have so many supporters and listeners now than ever before, and we want to thank you. It's time to bring back common sense, and we do it right here every day with The Voice of Reason.
America's safe space for common sense. This is The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Yeah, Reason, Common Sense, Rationale, man. I cannot wait for 2026. It's going to be a bigly year, if you know what I'm talking about. We have so much to do.
I think we're going to make it bigly.
And I cannot wait to see and hit the ground running here next week. So this is kind of in the limbo right now. We're in between the holidays. You still kind of need to work, but you don't really want to work, and can't really do a whole lot until next week anyway. So we're here to entertain you and get you set for set the platform, set the stage for what we could see in 2026. We're hanging out with Jim Pfaff, the Conservative Caucus, theconservativecaucus.com, as we talk about the divide in the Republican Party right now. Again, we've been calling it here on the program personality over policy. It turned from the personalities. I mean, we're a personality here on the radio show and podcasters out there. We get it. At the same time, is it focused on us with the drama that we like to create, and tune in tomorrow as we talk about who's having an affair with who? Or is it about the policy, about trying to win and trying to get Republicans and conservatives to win and trying to get our policy done? I would say it's the latter, right? That's what we're supposed to do. That's the entire purpose of these platforms with talk radio and with podcasting, and I think some have kind of forgotten that. But here's the good news, and Jim, I know that you were saying that we have some really good news moving forward. I've said get it out of our system, because at the end of the day, Donald Trump did an address to the nation just a week or so ago and kind of hit that reset button, reminded us all of the wins that we've seen in this last year, which in 1 year of an administration has really been the most productive administration in modern American history. If we remind ourselves that and get back to policy, do you think we can unite as a party to make sure that we're in a good shape for the midterm elections?
Well, I think we can, and I think that that's the effort that needs to be undertaken. The problem that I have mentioned over and over again since Donald Trump became elected, and really beforehand, is that the real problem with the Trump agenda is Republicans in Congress. They have a very bad track record of coalescing around these kinds of ideas, of thinking through how to communicate with the American people by setting the correct priorities and taking courageous actions. That's always been a real challenge that they've had. But the thing that may help Republicans moving forward is the fact that the American people are not dumb. They know, they get frustrated with Republicans, of course, and there's no doubt about that.
Right.
But they also get frustrated with Democrats, as we saw last year. The question is, will they decide, make the decision when they have to, pull the lever, make the vote, whatever it is? Will they make the decision at that time that they're not going to go down the Democrat, Joe Biden, Barack Obama path, Ilhan Omar, AOC path, but we're going to go down the Donald Trump path, and we're going to trust Republicans to continue to do that? So there's a lot of good news to be said in that regard. The One Big Beautiful Bill is becoming fully implemented in just a few days. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, immediate expensing of investments in businesses, both large and small. All of those things, amongst other provisions. By the way, the standard deductions going up, so people are going to have less money coming out of their paycheck. They're going to net more. And this is actually going to do a very good job at getting the economy back in shape. That's the one key issue that people have in any negative sense at this stage. I see that playing out over this next year. And again, I have a lot of faith in the American people that they do not like the way that Democrats govern, and they do want to go in a different direction. As long as Republicans will take some actions to show that they also believe in the American people and what their hopes and dreams and desires are, then they can have a pretty good victory in 2026. It is up in the air, but I still have hope.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, the economy, the golden age, the beginning of that golden age is starting to show already. And with the tax breaks that we're going to see at the beginning of the year and with the economy starting to tick up, we're already seeing it. The media is just not being able to admit it yet, which is making it a bit difficult. So the consumer sentiment's still down. But eventually, I mean, it's going to be obvious. I mean, we're already seeing record low gas prices that we haven't seen in 5 years by now. So that's already a big win. Last question for you in about 30 seconds here, Jim. That leads us to Congress. Do you think they can act? And if they start codifying the Trump agenda, is that going to solidify and lock in a win for us in November next year?
I think it would go a long way to doing that. Mike Johnson tried to make the case today that they passed a lot of bills to do that out of the House. The Senate hasn't taken them up. There are questions of the filibuster and getting rid of that. And, of course, Mike Lee rightly points out that actually you can work around the 60-vote rule if you're willing to do it.
Yeah.
So, if they'll take bold action, the American people will be behind them. If they do not, I don't know.
Let's get it done. Jim Pfaff, the Conservative Caucus. Go check out the website, everything they're working on. They're going to be working very hard this next year for the midterms, and we can't wait to see what's in store. Jim, Happy New Year to you, my friend. Can't wait to do it again real soon, brother. There we are.
Thanks, Andy. Talk to you soon.
Always appreciate it. Back at it again tomorrow for a Tuesday. Until then, we'll see you back on the radio. Bye. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. You know, when I get off the air every day, the battle for me against limited government, censorship, and even unfactual content is far from over. That's why now I'm so happy to say that the Hooser Media Network is giving you more opportunity to catch the voice of reason along with other great shows and podcasts. It's been a long time in the works, and now you can finally enjoy more great content, services, and topical shows. We're the safe space for alternative talk, information, and ideas that the mainstream media absolutely hates. From holistic and alternative medicine, discussions on religion and spirituality, pure entertainment shows, and of course yours truly with the voice of reason. Plus, we offer numerous media services, including helping you set up your own podcast. Become your own voice of reason and bring your expertise to any fun issue or topic.